Hey guys, it's Bobby Legs and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. But today we are not talking about watches. Okay, well maybe we're talking about watches a little bit, but today we're talking about knives. And I've gotten into knives a little bit. I don't know, well, I do know how. But anyway, I've noticed that in the beginning of my knife collection journey, if you will, there's been a lot of parallels to how I began collecting watches. And so I figured maybe this would be a good time to do a state of the collection, a newbie collection. This is from somebody who's really brand new to the hobby, who really doesn't know what they're doing. I'm probably going to look back at this a year or two from now, and I'm gonna say to myself, man, that guy, who is that guy? That guy's an idiot. Anyway, so let's talk about how I started getting into this. So I had zero interest in knives. Zero interest. I mean, the only knives I ever bought were like steak knives or knives to chop some vegetables with. I did buy my fair share of um, Swiss Army knives. I was in Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts, and even lately, a few years ago, I bought a couple. I just saw knives as strictly as a tool. Aesthetically, they did nothing for me. Collectability wise, that didn't even it wasn't even in my radar. But when I got immersed in the watch community, I started to notice that some enthusiasts were into knives. Still, nothing there for me. I really wasn't into it. I would watch some videos here and there. I actually started watching the first knife review video I ever saw was by Nick Shabazz, and actually I got turned on to his channel because he did a review of a Breitling or an Omega, and then so I subscribed, and then he started pumping out, or he was always pumping out knife content. I just didn't realize it, and I started watching it, and then I unsubscribed, but then I subscribed back because I kind of like I kind of like his mannerisms and the way he talks. It reminds me of somebody like from the neighborhood, where I grew up. I don't know, but it's very familiar to me. So I like him. And then, but so I immerse myself in the community. I get involved with this group with Random Rob and his Discord group, and there's a couple of guys who are knife guys but are watch guys. So I think they're knife guys first. And so guys like Dirk Werning, who is one of a very influential knife channel for me. I always watch Dirk's stuff, and I always take his reviews seriously. And then so I just started noticing, these knives are pretty cool and they look pretty sharp. I'm not really not sure how I feel about them, but anyway, so I'm opening up boxes as I do a lot with watches and being lent in and sending them out. And I have this box cutter, and I'm like, this is not cutting it. Let me just get a knife. You know what I mean? So I do very, very little research. Yet I'm still watching Dirk's channel. I'm watching Slicey Dicey, Metal Complex, and trying to look for advice here and there. And then of course I take my will and I figure out, well, I'm just gonna get whatever I want and like. So that's how I got this first. Now this is the first knife that I've ever bought that wasn't a Swiss Army or food related. It is the Kershaw Dividend Assistant, and this particular one is out of stock now, or I'm sorry, discontinued. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing in the knife world. When I see a watch that's being discontinued, especially like a Rolex, that's like, even though I don't own any Rolexes, but usually that means that if you have them, there's some collectability there, and the price may go up. I don't know, sure if that's the case with knives, although probably with the high-end knives it is, but with these guys, I'm not really sure. So this is an assisted folding knife. So if you just and look, by the way, I know nothing about knives, so don't listen to me. I think they're pretty right now. I don't know anything about metals. Mrs. Legs, she probably knows more about metals. She's got a master's in physics, and maybe physics doesn't deal with metals so much, but she just overall science, she just knows. Anyway, so whoa, I hit I hit the stand of the camera with that one. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. Awesome, right? And so they have this liner lock. I think it's called a liner lock. Now this doesn't drop shut. Because it's an assisted folding knife. I don't know. Whatever, man. Whatever, Lignosky. But that's that's what it is. So you do have a 3 inch blade, and the overall length of this is 7 1/4. I think this is an aluminum handle, if that's what it's called. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm a newbie. You know what I mean? This is a watch channel. So, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of dislikes here, but I'm learning, man. I'm learning. And it is made in the USA, as you can see here. This is like a kind of like a Stonewash looking blade, and it's 420 HC stainless steel blade. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's good or not. Anyway, I got this for like 45 bucks, from Blade HQ. Most of the knives I bought are from Blade HQ, and I think it's just slick. And and I was using it for, opening up boxes and cutting stuff outside, and it's a pretty cool knife. I like it. Okay, moving on. This knife is awesome. I have no idea what it is. It came in this this little, pocket thingy at Bear Company. I don't know if it's the same Bear Company that makes knives. Anyway, the story about this, I early in the summer, I got my 5-year anniversary from work, and it's a big company. It's got like about 40,000 people, so it's a big corporate company. And so it was 5-year anniversary. They sent me a link to a site where I could pick my 5-year anniversary gift, and they had this pocket knife, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. Look at this engraving, this little hunting scene with some dogs over here, and there's a geese flying, and that's really, really cool. Now, it's not a big knife. It's about 3.5 inches right now, and then like the blade itself is 2.5, and then the cutting edge is 2. But it's a cool little knife, man. I mean, this guy's pretty sharp, actually. So aesthetically, it's pretty awesome. I've also used this to cut up some cardboard, not cardboard, I'm sorry, but just opening up boxes of tape and stuff like that. That's pretty much what I use these knives for at the moment. Although I do a lot of work outside in the property, and so they have come in handy for certain things. Now moving on to, now this is a CIVIVI, and the reason why I picked this one up, a couple of reasons. It's got this beautiful Damascus steel, and it was also being discontinued. So my watch geekiness was like, okay, maybe I should pick that up, not knowing if that really actually applies to this level of knife or not. What's cool about this one is that it drops pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's not completely like guillotine style, but you can shake drop, which is awesome because that's how I like to fidget with these things. These are mainly fidget devices for me. But there is I don't know, there's like a beauty to it. This is G10 carbon scales. Like I said, Damascus steel. This knife is overall, it's about 8 inches long, and the cutting edge is 3 inches. The blade is 3.5. So really cool. I guess I guess I should just like line it up like they do, like Dirk and Slicey and Metal Complex, like they do. Let me just line this up. All right. Okay. All right. I don't have the graph paper mat, but okay. Now the next knife, man, it's probably my newest and my favorite, and it's the Kizer Vanguard sheep liner lock with the green Micarta handle here. It's like kind of like a burlappy kind of feel. I mean, look at this thing. This is a black blade. It's 7 3/4 inches overall length. The blade is 3 1/4. Cutting edge is 3 and 1.125. And it's like this black finishing CTS BD19 blade, 1N blade, whatever. I just got it because it looks cool, man. I mean, this thing is just awesome looking liner lock. I have a little trouble with this one, engaging the liner lock. But it kind of looks like a toucan, right? Hold on. It kind of looks like a toucan Sam, like right here. I don't know. You guys know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, So I saw Dirk's review of it. Oh, sorry about that. A cave cricket just jumped on my arm. Uh, Probably the worst thing to happen when you're holding a knife. Holy cow, that scared the crap out of me. Anyway, if you don't know what cave crickets are, um, you should. You should. Maybe I'll put in a video of the cave crickets in my barn. There's a little minor infestation. Um, so I saw a video. Dirk did a review of this. Not, I don't think it was this particular variation. And I was like, man, that's a beautiful knife. And then Metal Complex, he did it, and I was like, yes. And then he was like, he was in another video with like some of the watches. I mean, of some of the knives that he wears, that he has in his rotation. He was like, I use my Sheepdog for breaking down boxes. You get a lot of boxes, how we do nowadays with Amazon and whatnot. And I was like, okay. And then so I did that. I mean, I was just opening up, the box, to take out the package. Wasn't actually breaking down the boxes with this knife. And then I did it, and man, this thing is butter, man. This thing rips right through that. You hold it down and go down this way, man. It's just like slice, destroy the box. Yeah, man. So this is I love this knife. It's so far my favorite. Now, before I wrap up, as you take a look here and you're saying to yourself, well, how, you're starting off with a knife collection. How do you not have like a Spyderco or something like that? And you're right. Like, how do I not have a Spyderco? Rest assured, I just ordered one. I'm getting a Para 3 Spyderco. It was a new limited release that came out of DLT or DTL, DLT, whatever it's called, whatever that's trader, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm not a knife guy, but I'm getting it, and it has like that purple G10 carbon handle, black blade. Awesome. Again, if I'm using the wrong terminology, I'm sorry, guys. I'll get it together one of these days. Anyway, so I'm picking up one of those, and I'm really really fired up about it. Now, how this relates to my watch collecting, I never so. When I started watch collecting again, I hit YouTube pretty hard, and I was very influenced by YouTube creators, and I started with like the more affordable stuff, and then kind of built my way up there. And I'm doing the same thing with the knives. Like I'm like, Damascus steel, boom, I got to get that. This guy gets reviewed by my buddy Dirk in Metal Complex and Slicey, and I'm like, I got to get that. Like I'm so influential, especially when I'm not really sure about things. Man, you can just like sell me anything, and if you sound like you know what you're talking about, man, I'm buying it. I think with the Spyderco, I'm safe though. I think that's pretty much considered a really great watch. I mean, I keep on saying watch, a great knife and a great knife maker. But a lot of similarities there with the research and the going down the rabbit holes of knife channels, and then buying these watches sub 100, sub $50. Oh, I said watches again, knives, because I don't know any better, but I'm buying things that I think look cool now. Like I know nothing about steels yet. I know nothing really about handles yet. Although I like the Micarta. I like the carbon. The aluminum is cool. I like this all. I like it all. So where this is gonna lead though is like what it did with like my watch collecting into more crazier or expensive watches, right? Because that's where I'm trending, and I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be that way with the knives, man. I don't know. Maybe I will. Anyway, before I'm gonna get the Spyderco and maybe a couple other ones, and then I'm gonna start like I gotta start like really, if I'm gonna make this a thing, man, I really have to do my research and really jump in full, feet first. I mean, but this could have been easily, this could have been pens, right, instead of knives, or baseball cards, or whatever it is. But it seems like I collect the same way no matter what I'm collecting. I collect the same way. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging in there. I know 15 minutes or almost 15 minutes, and you're only talking about 4 watches in your collection. Pretty bananas, but I wanted to tie in the whole watch thing and the whole story behind me getting into it. Anyway, guys, thank you. This is a watch channel, but sometimes I might do a knife video here or there. I promise at least 95% watches, guys. Anyway, have a great night, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.